What do you get when you combine sweeping skyline views, historic architecture, cozy coffee shops, and one of Seattle's most iconic, walkable neighborhoods? Well, welcome to Seattle's crown jewel, Queen Anne. We're at Cary Park and we're gonna start our tour here today. We've got multi-million-dollar mansions surrounding us, yet we're gonna take you into some other neighborhoods where it is considered more affordable. So we've got Michael Dapper here.
Hi, hi.
Hi, hi. So yeah, we're excited to show you what it's all about on today's walking tour. Come follow us. All right, here we are in this incredible sculpture that we actually don't know anything about,
Right.
but it's been here since 1969, so that's not the point, right? Why we're in this structure is because this is one of the hot spots for tourism here. So there's tour buses here everywhere. I mean, you can understand with that view of downtown Seattle, right, Michael?
Yeah, this is like the most iconic view, I think. When you see a postcard of Seattle, 9 out of 10, it's gonna be shot from the park for sure.
9 out of 10, right? What we have over there is Elliott Bay and the Puget Sound. So you get true 180-degree views of all the beauty of Seattle. But why we're starting here is because we also want to give you this lay of the land. We're at what's called the South Slope, the upper end of the South Slope on Highland Drive, the most expensive street here. You're gonna have Prospect one block below. All these homes can be anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15 million.
Right.
It just depends. Right down here, we have maybe $2–3 million condos. There's a $3 million townhome right there. So we're gonna take you on a walk in this very picturesque neighborhood, and we're gonna walk up the hill a little bit into the top of Queen Anne, what we consider called the top of the hill. So that's the lay of the land. Let's go take a look. So now we're gonna talk about and go into this incredible housing neighborhood. Like, you're gonna see a lot of brick colonial homes. Many of these are from the 1900s or early 1900s, even late 1890s.
Right.
You've got classic craftsman homes, right? And the price point is quite high, as we've talked about already.
You can spend as much as you want.
You can spend as much as you want, and you probably can't spend as little as you want.
That is absolutely true.
But check out this beautiful home, right?
Yeah.
This is, I don't even know how to describe this. It has this like, kind of a, I guess, traditional brick.
Colonial.
Like semi-colonial. Yeah, super cool. Over here, you've got a nice colonial style home,
gorgeous.
brick. This one on the left here is a Tudor style home. And if you can tell, right, we've just already, it's kind of calmed.
Yeah.
Now we've got peace and quiet.
Yeah.
We've got this beautiful walkable neighborhood with just a few cars parked on the street. You know, this isn't a major through street. So if you had more money to spend, you'd be on this side over here,
sure.
right? Because this is the south side of the street. And as you can see, even peekaboo through there, right? This is gonna get you all the big views.
Well,
can you imagine just what you're looking at right here?
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the, you know, with Queen Anne, because you are at the very top of the hill, or we're getting to the top of the hill, is that as far as real estate goes, it really matters what street you're on, what side of the street you're on. You know, it can make a difference of 200%.
Check this one out, Michael. Let's look at this real quick. Like, wow, that is just incredibly gorgeous, right? You've got this semicircular drive. Look at the landscaping. I think this is the reality of owning a home in this area. You've got a pretty good chunk of money in your income coming through or in your portfolio.
For sure.
And you probably have a gardener.
Yeah.
You probably are spending a lot of money on maintenance and upkeep.
Right.
So you've got high property taxes. So, you know, you could be spending, you know, easily $5,000, $10,000 a month just on maintenance of a home like this.
Easily.
Yeah.
For sure. Especially because you are dealing with old historic homes that, you know, need constant upkeep.
Yeah.
I think, you know, it's important to note, like you said, like, look at all of these gardens. You know, they're all mature
Doesn't
gardens.
happen by accident.
Does not happen by accident. And I could put my savings on it that the owner's not out here doing this work. It's just not what it is, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, look at this one.
This one is,
like
this one's a surprise here.
Right?
Whoa, yeah, it's all kind of boarded up. So that one is going to be, renovated and remodeled.
Right.
You know, again, I think if we just pause here, right? Again, look at these absolutely beautiful homes. This particular part of Queen Anne is definitely going to have some of the highest like price per square foot, highest priced homes. And you know, what's funny is, right, in my intro, we called this the most walkable neighborhood that is incredibly hilly.
Right.
We're here and we're just gonna walk up this hill real quick and get to this very flat top part of Queen Anne. But if we walk down, you can see how steep it is. So you don't see a lot of people walking up and down, running up and down these hills, right? You get to a point where you're in your walkable neighborhood, right? But you're
walking a lot east and west, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we could keep going that way, and we'd be seeing the Olympic Mountains and views that must just have incredible sunsets to the west, right? So instead, we're gonna walk up the hill here. We'll follow this sketchy guy with a backpack up here. Not sure who that is. That is our videographer, everybody. Don't be alarmed, don't be alarmed. Check it out, colonial. I don't know, it looks like it's Tudor style, right? Tudor style with a kind of different siding right there. Here we got a craftsman style home.
Very quiet,
peaceful, right? So this is kind of the hill you can manage. We got about 2 of these. It's gonna get a little less steep as we get closer here. I think we're talking kind of about some obvious things about multi-million-dollar homes.
Right.
Very expensive, very desirable, right? Not for your average buyer.
True.
No.
Yeah, that's just the facts. I think, you know, Queen Anne is one of the oldest neighborhoods in Seattle.
Yeah.
You've got some very old historic homes here. The real estate here has always been prized. It's always, you know, been expensive, to just put it plainly. There's generational wealth here for sure. So, you know, if we look at just some of the landscaping and some of the gardens, I mean, some of these gardens have been around for 50 years plus. I'd say the buyer here is sometimes family money, sometimes retirees. You don't see a lot of young people coming in buying up these old historic homes.
Yeah,
simply
particularly
because of the
not
price
this
point.
part. Yeah.
Right?
You've accumulated some wealth, you know, through your job, or through family. So, but it takes a little bit of time to accumulate that wealth.
Right. This is usually kind of a final destination for a lot of people. You typically don't buy in Queen Anne and then decide you want to move out of it. Yeah, it's kind of like the goal, right?
Right, and to clarify that, right, we're again on this kind of south slope of Queen Anne, transitioning to the top of Queen Anne, right? And there are parts where first-time home buyers, are buying, and we're going to show you guys those parts of Queen Anne later, right? So we talked about Queen Anne being the crown jewel. Right. I think that's what people need to know, right? We're at this top part, which is more expensive. Then you have Lower Queen Anne, which is comprised of townhomes,
a lot of
condos, apartments, definitely a ton of young single people living there, right? And you go into areas like East Queen Anne or West Queen Anne or North Queen Anne, there's definitely more affordability there. Right. Just not here.
Right.
Now we're at the western top of Queen Anne, right? The southwestern top of Queen Anne. And we want to show you this incredible brick residence. This is the richest person in Seattle. All right.
The guards are coming.
So we're joking. This is Queen Anne Elementary. Yes, Queen Anne High School is on the other side. Queen Anne Elementary has been converted into condominiums. One of the coolest condominiums has its own basketball court because it was the gym that was here. So that's one of the kind of pricier condominiums, but incredibly beautiful. Again, right? This is the type of residence you can find here.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, the fact that they did this with the elementary and the high school just shows the intent to kind of preserve the historic nature of Queen Anne, which also protects property values for everyone else too, right? Like this would be much different if you threw up a brand new construction, you know, cookie cutter apartment complex or condo complex. It just wouldn't be the same. So why destroy this beautiful building that, you know,
Oh my God, that would make zero sense whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah.
So they really did a nice job on repurposing it, and also providing a lot of really high-end real estate.
Yeah, the interesting thing too about these, Michael, is that this land is leased from the city. So in theory, all these condominium owners could say your lease is up.
Right.
In theory. But I'm just pointing that out because it's a unique thing that I've worked through with buyers, saying, what, so you're telling me this condominium that I'm buying into doesn't own the land?
Right.
Yeah, it is leased from the city. So interesting, right? All right, well, let's continue walking. My gosh, you just might want to freaking stop here and meditate.
Yeah.
It's so amazing, right? Okay, so here we are. Now we're gonna be on Gaylor Street. Gaylor Street is an east-west street, and there are lots of cool things on Gaylor Street. All right, let's wipe off the money that was sprinkled on us from that part of the area, right? Let's get back to reality. Yeah, so you can see we walked up quite a hill, right? And this is the thing about Queen Anne, you got lots of elevation changes in different parts, right? But Gaylor is a major arterial. And what's cool is we have some more mix, right? We got regular apartment buildings that don't cost you $5,000 a month to rent necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, what would you think like a one bedroom would cost you in this neighborhood?
It's just going to depend on how big it is, right? But I'd say you can probably find one for $2,500 if it's an older building.
Yeah, that's what I would think too.
Yeah. So starting there, just depends on the quality. So yeah, we're on an arterial. We've got some businesses here. We might be running into an ice cream shop, but it is 10:45 in the morning. So normally we end our tours with ice cream.
Which maybe we'll go back to it.
This time we're, who knows? Maybe we'll circle back to a different ice cream shop. We'll see, guys. If you stick around for the tour, you can watch us eating ice cream at the end. How exciting.
This is exactly what you signed on for, exactly.
My God, what used to be here? I'm trying to think. This little spot here. Oh, it used to be a donut shop. This used to be Top Pot Donut.
That's right.
Yeah. So some changes here. We've got Molly Moon's.
Big Seattle staple.
Big Seattle staple, homemade organic ice cream. And then we have this also pretty iconic pizza shop.
Via Tribunale.
Via Tribunale, unless is it now called Vera Pizza? Right, so cool little old building. This is brick, if you can tell, and there's a little upstairs, downstairs, wine only, no cocktails. At least that's what it's always been from my experience, and it looks to be the same way. Yeah. Yeah, this is an awesome coffee shop, Cafe Vita.
For people that aren't from the area, they think Queen Anne. Sometimes, you can, if you Google Queen Anne, it'll pull up all the historic houses.
Let's pause here.
It's not just multi-millionaires up here. It's a lot of just folks that like to live, in city, close to bus lines.
Totally.
You can rent for relatively, an inexpensive amount. And then there's also condos and townhomes up here as well.
Yeah, I love the Adirondacks, right, that are just sitting out there for Cafe Vita. I mean, I see people out here, whether it's warm, hot, cold, doesn't matter.
I mean,
they're
it's
here
55
year
degrees
round.
and we're wearing shorts.
You are you are a true Seattleite if you're out here during the winter.
This is a good example right here, Maynard.
Yeah.
Right here. So, see this house.
Oh yeah, is this
so this has been now converted into a duplex.
Yeah.
Right. So you've got two different separate entrances, but they've maintained the original house. So you see this a lot in Queen Anne. You also see it a lot in the U District, to kind of support students in the U District. But up here, it's a great way for people to live in, live in the neighborhood, but not have to, put their life savings on the line to do so.
Great point, Michael. So it reminds me, when I moved back here from LA and I was a young buck, let's say 27,
I lived 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago, exactly. 10 years ago, everybody. So 27, I lived in Queen Anne and was in an apartment, and my address was 2709 and a half.
Yeah.
And I have never heard of a half address before, but yeah, I was a big boy And,
Right.
but I was only allowed half an address. So, yeah, look at this right here. I mean, that's
cool,
clearly newer construction. I don't know if those are condos or apartments off the top of my head.
Right.
But yeah, but here we are again. I think we're getting close to St. Anne, which is a Catholic church and a private school. But yeah, look at these homes. Like a lot of things, this is the beauty about elevation in Seattle. The beauty about elevation in Seattle is that you get views, right? The negative elevation about Seattle is you gotta be in shape if you're gonna walk, or if you have a bike, get an e-bike.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna hop in our cars and head to the central top of the hill, Queen Anne Ave, where so many people want to live, because that's where you got access to grocery stores, restaurants at your fingertips. All right, so now we are on the Ave,
right?
Some people will call it, not the University District Ave.
Different Ave.
Very different, right?
Okay.
But if you're a local, you call this the Ave.
Right.
And we are truly top of the hill.
Yep. So as somebody born and raised in Seattle, we call this Upper Queen Anne. This is where it's like the main thoroughfare where you've got all the commerce. So all those big, beautiful historic homes, if you're living there, you're likely gonna walk here to kind of do your daily stuff. We just had a beautiful cup of coffee, but this is where bars, restaurants, shops, salons, everything's on this strip.
And Starbucks.
Yeah,
Starbucks still survives, even though we did have coffee at Cafe Hagen. Other places, we're not gonna go that way, we're gonna walk this way, but Salt and Straw is continuing their takeover of Seattle.
Right.
Right, so Portland-based ice cream company with quirky flavors. But yeah, hey, that's what people are loving. So they are expanding and growing. And so now we're just gonna take a walk up the Ave and show you some of the shops. All right, so walking up the Ave, having lived here, this Safeway used to just be a parking lot and an old beat down Safeway. Now it's a beautiful Safeway with an apartment building above it. What a change, right? This place didn't exist, East Orange Soul Kitchen. And I wonder if my little favorite Mexican restaurant is up here anymore.
Which one was that?
It might not be. Oh, nope, El Mezcalito.
Is it different?
Yeah, it's got just a little bit different name. It wasn't called El Mezcalito, it was called something else, but it's still Mexican. So, that's good news. We're gonna call that a win.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Cornelli. This is big news. Cornelli is a local pizza shop that opened up in Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
People wait hours for that place.
Yeah.
So good for them. They are going to crush it here.
Yeah.
That's
impressive. A great location for sure.
All right. And a non-competing Indian-style pizza kitchen. They do things like they put tandoori chicken on.
Oh, nice.
The sauces are a little bit different. So I've noticed with the growth of the presence of Indians who are working here in the tech companies, right? Bringing all their engineering skills over, that there has been an increase in Indian pizza shops and Indian restaurants here in the Seattle area.
You're right. That's awesome. I love Indian food.
It's super cool. All right, Big Mac's Burger Company. This is a spin-off of Eden Hill Provisions.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you believe that? Right. So where we are right now, as you can see, it's all very busy. This is also where the Queen Anne Farmers Market is held.
Right.
Right here on this street and turning the corner over there.
You can see it.
And then you got kids in the distance over there because that's McClure Middle School.
Right.
Yeah. Man, this place is hopping.
Yeah.
Right? So hold on, let's let this one go. Oh, thank you. Let's go, thank you. All right, so we passed the Safeway. All right, so Safeway, new and improved Safeway. Love Safeway, by the way.
Right.
Love Trader Joe's, though. Trader Joe's is right there. So, did you know Trader Joe's is the most profitable grocery store company? Their margins are through the roof.
Is that right?
And it's because instead of 10,000 products, they keep their product level to about 2,000 to 2,500.
Right.
And those numbers might not be exact, so don't chat GPT me and call me a liar.
Right.
But the point I'm trying to make
They've
is
got
that
great inventory management.
that was their goal, is to only sell products that people buy.
Right.
And not have a product for everybody.
It is true. I mean, like, you go in there and everything sells. You
Yeah.
know, like, my sister's a big fan of Trader Joe's, and you know, she could probably name every single product that they sell.
There you go, right? There is the Queen Anne Book Company. This has been
that's old
around
school.
forever. And then you have Queen Anne Coffee Company. right next to each other. So definitely super important to capture. That is iconic, right? And then Moonrise Bakery, which I've not heard of, but hey, next to a coffee shop,
Right.
who doesn't love a good bakery?
A little pastry.
Right, yeah.
Couldn't hurt.
And you can see, yeah, lots of people hanging out here.
So look at this store.
Yeah, this is not a chain
Right.
that we're aware of.
But this is kind of like
But,
a good,
oh my God,
indicative
super
Queen
cute,
Anne
right?
store, right?
Yeah, it is, right? Home linen stationary children, right? So
Right.
if you need to buy a gift and you're going to a baby shower, a little party,
Right.
you know you're gonna find something good there.
Right.
Right.
And
That-
it's like choice items, it's curated. It's not plug and play stuff.
Yes, we are from Seattle. Yes, Amazon was born here. Yes, we support Amazon. But don't forget to support your local companies,
Right, right.
your local businesses,
Right.
folks. Yeah. Sky Bowl Cafe, that has changed a few times, but that's,
Yep.
you can get acai bowls, so
Right.
healthy items there.
You get your quinoa, your kale, you've got it all.
Love it. All right. I think we're good, right?
Yeah.
We've covered,
that's about the trip.
a good chunk of what the Queen Anne Ave is like.
Right.
The Ave, the top of the hill.
Right.
You've seen us walk a little bit of the neighborhood over there and showed you some of the houses. So you have similarities if you go that way. All this area is super flat up here, right? I think that's, super flat, right? You got a small hill that
Right.
way in that distance. So probably everything from like 6th Ave west to, I would say, about 4th Ave north, right?
Right.
That's about a 12-block span east to west.
Right.
That will be considered all top of the hill, all flat, ranging from Gaylor to McGraw
yeah.
before it starts to go downhill.
Right.
So you guys can see this on a map, but
Right.
hey, since you're watching the video, we don't have to make you refer to a map. We just want to tell you what's going on
Right.
here. Right. So super desirable up here. It's a totally different vibe than the south slope where we were,
Right.
at Cary Park to start.
Right. Cool.
All right, onward. We've landed at our next spot. We are at the top of the hill,
Right.
Right.
Upper Queen Anne.
next to the Ave.
Right. All right.
All right, so what makes this area so special, it's relatively flat. We're here right now because this is a very desirable place to live. We've got John Hay Elementary over there, Queen Anne Elementary over there. So there are lots of desirable reasons to live here, especially if you're a family. There's a lot of young professionals living
Yep.
in this area. And from a pricing standpoint, we're looking at single family houses mostly, right? I mean, if you can get a house for $1.5 million,
It's a
up
pretty good,
here,
yeah.
that's a pretty damn good deal,
Yeah.
right? But you're gonna have anywhere from 1.5 to 3 million, depending on how well built the house is and the size of the house and its exact location.
Yeah.
So let's take a look. We're gonna go tour and show you some houses and some streets and make our way over to the Ave. So we're in another area of Queen Anne now,
Right.
like northwest Queen Anne, but northwest top of the hill.
Right.
And the reason why this is considered a new location, this is about 7 to 8 blocks east of Queen Anne Ave, right? And so we
Correct.
have a small little collection of shops here. We've got Molina's Taco Shop, which has been here probably 25, 30 years. You've got Macrina Bakery, which is a famous local bakery that has locations all over Seattle, but that is a mainstay here. And then you've got Ken's Market,
Yep.
right? So
And that's pretty
often-
much it.
That's it,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, there's a little dive bar called Targis over in
Oh,
this area
yeah,
as well
can't
too.
re-
I
yeah.
think it's on 6th.
Yeah.
Right? So we're walking 7th Ave West, and I think the point is that even though you're only 7, 8 blocks, you have this whole area here where a lot of people don't walk or go to the Ave as much.
Right.
It's like its own enclave of homes that you are in a different part of the top of the hill.
Right. Right. Exactly.
And relatively, which is kind of funny, that these homes can be a little bit cheaper than East Queen Anne
True.
on that side over there. It just depends on the home. But we are still looking at, starter homes that are probably $1.5 million,
Yep.
and some of the nicer, bigger homes at $2 million. But look at these beautiful homes. These are just fabulous, right? You can see craftsmen galore.
Right. Yeah. It's pretty much this whole street's going to be like all craftsmen. And wouldn't you say that, a lot of these builds are still going to be 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe
Yeah.
a couple in the 60s, but mostly still going to be older
1900 to 1930, 40 mostly. Yeah,
Right.
that colonial is beautiful. But then you're gonna get into like some apartments here. So we got a mix of apartments here, right?
Right.
Again, it's not just all houses, and that's what makes Queen Anne cool, is that while it may be more single family houses as a ratio to other areas like Capitol Hill, you can still get an apartment here and enjoy it. And the thing about this side here is once we start to go east to 8th Ave Northwest, 8th Ave West, 9th Ave West, you're starting to go down the slope and you're gonna see views of Puget Sound, the Olympic Mountains. We can already see the water peekaboo view here.
Right.
You may not see it on the camera, but we're looking west towards Magnolia, towards the Sound, towards the peninsula, towards the Olympic Mountains.
Right, and it's a pretty quick drop down to Inner Bay too. So although there might not be a ton of stuff right up here, you know, if you can get down to Inner Bay, it's actually pretty fast.
There you go, right? And Inner Bay offers Whole Foods Market. Yeah, and you can see just lots of people walking around.
Right.
Again, if you haven't noticed, it is a very walkable neighborhood, just like we told you at the very beginning. We're not liars. These people are real. It's not AI. Trust us. And look at these shops. You wouldn't know it, but that's what I meant. We're kind of in this other kind of mini business district, right? Boutique shops here, some vintage clothing shops here. And here's Targis. Please leave quietly. That is a message to all the drunks, and they do not leave quietly. But that's pretty funny. Please leave quietly. It's just referring to the fact that this is right in the middle of a housing area.
Right in the middle of
and there is a fair amount of alcohol served at this bar.
Yeah.
So great spot. So 6th Ave West is another arterial. If you took this bus here, this main arterial line, you'd end up kind of where we were earlier, which is over by the Molly Moon's ice cream place, the Via Tribulani, and
then just
the Cary Park iconic view and south slope of Queen Anne with the multi-million-dollar mansions. But yeah, here you go. This is an arterial, but not a busy one. I think a lot of our clients would be fine with this level of traffic on an arterial. Yeah, I mean, check out this cool home right here. That is awesome, right? Narrow lot, a little bit vertical and modern. Looks like there's multiple units here. Look at these mailboxes. No, there's not multiple units. It's just a mailbox system for multiple houses. Yeah. Cool though. Yeah, you can see some of these just kind of have been remodeled and updated.
So what would you say the deciding factor is for people that are thinking about, moving to a neighborhood like this? Like, what should they be considering?
That's a good question. I would say for the clients who have moved here, right, affordability is a big driver.
Yeah.
Right? Availability of houses.
Yeah.
Queen Anne isn't just massive turnover of homes, right? So a lot of times people, if they're trying to get up here, all the elementary schools, public ones, are rated high.
Yeah.
So here we are at Co Elementary, just 2 blocks that way, right? So I know many friends and families who have raised their kids and absolutely love Co Elementary. Earlier we talked about John Hay and Queen Anne Elementary. So I think those are the, and budget is just the deciding factor, right? If you can afford these higher price areas, your first choice as a family or a starting family or somebody already with kids, you're gonna be trying to be on the top of the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your first choice, because the further down the slopes you go, then you don't have as much of that walkable lifestyle. You almost feel like you have to hop in a car just to go 3 blocks.
Well, I think that's a good point, is that, people think Queen Anne is being hilly, but really the top of the hill, it's a pretty flat plateau of it. It's, it takes a while till you start going down the slope, but once you start going down, it is pretty steep.
Absolutely.
Not nearly as
steep.
walkable
The
as far
north
as
and
lifestyle
the
goes.
south. Yeah, we didn't even mention, right, that people actually ski down Queen Anne Ave.
Yeah, that's true.
They ski down south towards the Space Needle Seattle Center. If there's enough snow that actually lasts and sticks around here in Seattle.
Yeah. Yeah, same way going into Fremont too. That's a really popular sledding hill.
Cool, yeah, so we're back at this intersection. This is a much busier intersection going east-west on McGraw than it is going north-south on 6th Ave West. Well, so let's think about our next step. Let's go to Lower Queen Anne. Again, we're right here. We're at probably, a 10-minute walk or so from that place we just shot, right? With the townhomes and the apartment buildings. And so there are some really cool, iconic businesses here. One is called Ozzy's. Ozzy's is your dependable bar that will always be here and always be open whenever you want to drink. Closes at 2 a.m., a wide range of people, packed before concerts, football games, not football games, basketball games,
Right.
anything that's going on here at Climate WREG, it'll be packed. Yeah, and if you need some late night fun and food, it's open until 2 a.m. Yeah.
Every day.
Every day.
Yep.
DJs for the younger crowd.
Karaoke.
Yeah, they do karaoke. They just do about everything. So Ozzy's Diner. Yeah, and then let's head this way, Michael.
Yeah.
For a grocery store, we got a good old Safeway there.
Right, there it is again.
All these condominiums up here are called the Tribeca. So sold a few in that building. We're very close to Climate Pledge Arena, which
also
used to be called Key Arena.
Possibly,
go ahead, Michael.
Possibly the Sonics might be coming back there.
The Sonics hopefully will be coming back. Yeah. Also close to where, Michael?
Close to
Seattle Center?
Seattle Center,
I thought I interrupted you.
Yeah,
so,
no, you didn't.
Okay.
Seattle Center, the Expo Hall.
Yeah, check that out.
EMP.
Seattle Storm. Yeah, lots of Seattle Center activities here. You know, Michael, you made an interesting comment where you almost felt like Seattle Center wasn't part of Queen Anne.
Right, it just doesn't totally feel like it because, you know, you're so close to downtown, but technically it is.
Yeah, technically it is Queen Anne. So it just shows the breadth and diversity of Queen Anne. And I don't even know when the last time I've used the word breadth. B-R-E-A-D-T-H, I believe. It's been a while, right? Yeah, so let's cross the street. Yeah, you can see again, very busy, very arterial. This is where a lot of people will drive through to get over to Magnolia into Ballard. This is your main freeway here. And then again, lots of other cool little bars and restaurants here. Sally Limon.
Like from,
There she is. There she is. We got Messina up here.
This, for you know, to me, definitely feels like Queen Anne.
Yeah, it does, right? T.S. McHugh's. You always need a good Irish bar next to sporting events.
Of course.
And we got Metropolitan Market. Metropolitan Market is your fancier market, right? For the fancy people up on the top of Queen Anne. And our viewers, just to know and show again that in Queen Anne is a neighborhood for everybody. While it is Seattle's crown jewel, it's a neighborhood for everybody. You know? And here we are at the famous Dick's Drive-In. Michael, wow, we covered a lot. Tons, yeah. I mean, here we are ending it at Lower Queen Anne, starting with iconic Cary Park and the multi-million-dollar homes, right?
Yeah.
And here we are in a spot that is a completely different vibe and, you know, available to anybody and everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like this area is iconic Queen Anne to me. You know, when you think of Queen Anne, for most people, this is the area that they've come through at least once, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It just shows the diversity of Queen Anne, right? From all the different parts of it, right? How you have a very residential area. And then you have, you know, this area, which is just more businesses, restaurants, and right next to right next to Seattle Center in the Space Needle and Climate Pledge Arena and everything else that's available there. Well, we hope you found that valuable. Again, we covered a lot of ground in a short period of time. If you've watched this far, you might be interested in Queen Anne or other Seattle neighborhoods, and we're here to help you. So please don't hesitate to reach out, comment. We're here for you, right? If you're trying to figure out what to do and where to live. No matter who you are, we are a team that's available to help anybody. So follow, comment, like, we appreciate it and look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Take care.